Child, China woke up on demon time. Y'all got to see this.
How to ship goods from China to the US is very simple. You can log into GoNest to obtain your warehouse address in China. Just instruct your supplier to ship the goods to the address. Next, we will inspect the goods, handle custom duties, and provide door-to-door delivery service from China to anywhere in the world.
China said, I am not Glorilla, but I ain't never gave no damn. I ain't never gave no fucks. I fell out with them hoes. We ain't never making up. I am out for everything I lost. I'm in the factory sewing. Let me sew. China said, do you want bars, America? I shall give them to you. The fact that China said, did you forget that we are doing calculus at 2 months old? There ain't no way you don't think we about to get over. You trying to screw your people, and we have the intellect for you not to screw us or them. Carry on. And let's see what we got to say. I want to know what we got to say.
Girl, China said, fuck them tariffs. They are offering 13% cash back on any purchases from American citizens. And not only that, they're going to give you 280 hours of visa-free entry into China to go shopping. No paperwork, nothing to do, no visa needed. You can just go to China and buy whatever it is you want. They said if America wants to try to keep American citizens from buying foreign goods, good luck. Because not only can you come here and buy the same shirt that you would buy in America for $40 and buy it there for $21, they also took away all prosecutions from fake brands. So they used to prosecute retailers who were making knockoff brands. They said, not anymore, honey. You can come buy all you want. They're not prosecuting any of their citizens for making knockoff brands like Nike, Versace, Gucci, none of that shit. And now they're going to give you 280 hours travel free to come on over there and buy whatever it is you want with a 13% instant cash rebate. I think y'all fucked around with the wrong one, man. I can't even hold you.
I literally woke up on my birthday and China was like $6 Lululemons, $15 Nikes. Oh, my name's Chen and I make the Birkins. Do you want to buy it from me for much cheaper? I love it. Happy birthday to me.
When it comes to the USA, we have never had the upper hand over China. Let's talk about how China has just executed the longest hustle in modern history. For decades, we have been conditioned to believe that China is just one giant sweatshop pumping out crap while we are the sophisticated, high-end innovators. And it turns out China has just been patiently waiting for us to be completely dependent upon their manufacturers. They have been mastering every technology, absorbing every industry, and then building an empire that doesn't need us half as much as we need them. And just when Trump thought he was going to flex up on China with his tariffs and trade war, they bitch slapped us right back with transparency. People forget that TikTok is owned by China, so it's not a surprise that every other video right now on your FYP is a Chinese person exposing the insane amount of markup that we pay for the products that they make for pennies on the dollar. Luxury handbags that are going for $3,000 to $5,000 in the United States are now being sold directly from manufacturers in China for $100 to $150. Premium skincare and perfumes are repackaged and sold for 10 times the price. China hasn't even had to fight in this trade war. They literally just drop the receipts and let Americans wake up and say, oh my God, we have been duped. China's domestic market is operating faster, more efficiently, better, and cheaper with products and things that we invented, from EVs to AI. They have a high-speed rail system that makes our Amtrak look like a horse-drawn carriage. Their cities are so high tech and high end, they put our crumbling infrastructure to absolute shame. So, after decades of the US media painting China as some dystopian sweatshop, Americans are waking up. Chinese consumers get better deals than we do. Chinese technology is significantly more advanced than ours. Chinese manufacturing isn't inferior, it's just that the United States chooses to sell us overpriced garbage. So now, instead of fearing the Chinese people and that country like we've always been conditioned to, we are now cheering them on while they expose the rot inside of our own system. China didn't destroy American capitalism, they held up a mirror to it and let it destroy itself.
China! I did not know Chinese people could be this petty. I see Chinese people and I'm like, they're very cutesy, they're very demure, they're very mindful. But Uncle Trump, you have pressed the wrong button. I don't know what you have done. I don't know what's going on, okay? So this is a novice ass. I have no idea. This is me watching from TikTok. But I don't know what's going on at the moment. But one thing for sure, I am loving the way Chinese people are being petty. I did not know you guys could be this petty. No, I don't know if you guys have stumbled across China FYP or Chinese FYP, this war going on between China and America at the moment. I am loving it. I'm loving the way they're spilling all the beans. Chinese people are spilling a lot. Don't come for my British ass. Actually, I'm not British, I'm Nigerian. Don't come for my Nigerian ass. I am just a resident in the UK. But I promise you, when it comes to this case, I'm Nigerian. Don't come to England though. Please don't. Because we're not that strong. We are not that strong in England. We are not. We don't fight. We're very polite. We're very kind. We're very cutesy. We're very mindful. We don't fight. Like, we just go, you're right, Alan. Hi. Like, we are very mindful here. Don't come for us, please. But I am loving all the pettiness. I did not know Chinese people guys, have you come across all these videos? They are spilling everything. China 0, America -0.0000000. Because I'm loving it. I'm here for it. I'm loving it.
She said that Chanel is made in China and it is basically worthless. She said it's getting marked up 40, 50, 60% and it's only costing them a couple of dollars to make. She said Nike and Adidas are all made in China, honey, and that we are brand brainwashed in the United States. She said the shoes cost $15 to make and we're paying $200. $200. She been on my FYP all freaking morning. This is like the 4th video I've seen about her. So all that Chanel shit that y'all got, that vintage Chanel, guess what? That shit is gonna be worthless. They are spilling the beans on the cost of all the goods they make in China. I knew I saw a change on my FYP yesterday or the day before, and now it is clear that they are literally using TikTok to come for American name brand goods.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they will be taking this app away from us. Why you say that? That Chinese man came on here and said, these are all the things I have in my house from America. Now, what do you have in your house from China? He ate with that. He ate us up with that. And another man came on here and said, what y'all need to do is start a revolution. He said they shipped all y'all jobs over to China for cheap labor. And he said, did we make money off of it? Yeah, we sure did. But you know what we did with the money? We actually helped our people. We actually built infrastructure. We actually made housing affordable. We gave them healthcare. And what did y'all get? Nothing. They've been on here eating us up. That man also said the American government is doing that to y'all because y'all allow it. When they get in that briefing room and they start talking about all these posts that China is making on TikTok, airing their dirty laundry out, yeah, go ahead. They're gonna say, see, that Chinese communist app gots to go. Gots to go. They're gonna take it.
Yes, to the people of China. Could you expose Van Cleef? Can you expose Harry Winston? Can you expose Tiffany? Can you expose K Jewelers? Can you expose the stones, please? Thank you. How do I get those for $2.46 sent to my home? Thank you so much.
China been talking that shit. You know what I mean? And they can. And you know why they can talk that shit? Because they doing it too. In the honor of Three Migos. They've been walking it like they talk it. They said, we don't care about your tariffs. Lest you didn't know, the world is huge. And everybody's knocking on our door since you acting a fool, America. And the gag is, now I'm seeing videos of people who work in the manufacturing industry within China letting you all know, guess what? That Louis, that Gucci, that Prada, all that's made in China, okay? Sometimes what they do is, if they want leather from a certain area, these companies, these brands will ship their materials over to China, to the factories, if the materials are not already in China, if the materials aren't already sourced by the factories and the manufacturers in China. And then what they will do is, once it's 95% manufactured, they're going to throw that stuff on a boat, ship it over to Italy, ship it over to France. And then what they will do is, they will have people in those countries where the brand is known for do like the last finishing touches. And that could be as simple as stitching in the tag to a little more advanced. But the reality is, a lot of your stuff is made in China. A lot of the stuff coming from China isn't cheap. It's just what happens is manufacturers in the US go for the cheapest product and you get that. But they have stuff that's really good. I mean, Shanghai Shu showed us, didn't they?
The Chinese takedown of luxury goods is wild right now because luxury goods are a huge source of soft power for the West. Soft power is power through things like culture, music, even language. Like US TV shows, that's a form of soft power because it makes the US aspirational and desirable in some ways. So with luxury brands, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, these Birkins, it creates this aspiration for the West, or aspiration to be European in a way, showing that Europe is this gold standard of quality. But when China's revealing that 80% of anything you buy that's Gucci is made in China, that over 60% of anything that you buy from Prada is made in China, that the only difference is that they send it over to Europe and then they stitch on a made in France or made in Italy little label. It's the ultimate pulling the curtain on the wizard in The Wizard of Oz and showing that there actually is no real magic and power in the person who's controlling Oz. I think it's going to be really interesting because there is such a stigma of something that's made in China. There's this perception of lesser quality in the West, but when you reverse that paradigm, when you show that all these goods that you thought were better because they came from Italy or France or wherever, when actually, in actuality, it comes from China, you're forcing consumers to reckon with why they make choices. So if consumers are going to start questioning the perceived worth of luxury goods, consumers are going to then realize that luxury brands are just high markup middlemen. They're just peddling an idea of something versus an actual quality good. And you can just then cut them out and go to the source. And so I think what China is doing right now, by shifting this perception of soft power, by taking back soft power, by showing real power in infrastructure and manufacturing, we're going to see a real flip in a lot of things, whether it comes to labor market, whether it comes to manufacturing, whether it comes to who buys luxury goods and perception of luxury as well. And so, I don't know, I'm just in it for the ride here.
This is all so that we can avoid importing their goods to pay tariffs. The Chinese have come up with a loophole. I feel like that's so smart and it's so petty, but it's so smart because it's like, how else are they going to survive? They know a lot of us buy goods for them. So how else are they going to survive with the tariffs? Let us come over there and shop there, right? And it reminds me of the whole thing with Red Note. Like they tried to take away TikTok, and then we went over there to the opposing team. I wonder how Trump is going to respond to this. I wonder what is going to be the response to.
China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
When you hear Donald Trump say China wants a deal, it just doesn't know how to go about it. They're proud people. J.D. Vance talks about Chinese peasants. What do you make of their conduct in this respect?
If J.D. Vance thinks that he's dealing with the peasants in China, and I'm proud to be a descendant of the peasants, most of us are descendants of the peasants anyway, that's our tradition. We are farmers before, but now we are one of the leading industrialized economies in the world. So I'm sorry, J.D. Vance doesn't know what he's talking about. And therefore, I don't think there will be China-US dialogue unless the United States changes its attitude towards China. Deal with China as it is, show respect to China, show respect to the Chinese people, and don't try to impose your prejudice and biased view about China or about the rest of the world.
They probably should have took this app away when they had the chance, because the Chinese manufacturers just hit them folks with the Uno reverse. And right now, the Chinese manufacturers are the best content on TikTok. They said, oh, tariffs, you say. Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike. Bet. Oh, yeah. The manufacturer is such and such, located at such and such in Guangzhou. They do shipping within this time, and here are the products. I've seen the manufacturers for every brand anybody could possibly think of, from shoes and apparel to beauty products. One of the Chinese manufacturers said, oh yeah, you know how you pay such and such $100 for Chanel beauty products? Well, we only make them for $10. Listen, I don't know how this tariff thing is going to play out, but the way that the Chinese manufacturers are playing their hand, absolutely well done. 10s across the board. I told y'all in the years that I lived in China, I got everything under the sun because everything is pretty much made there. So to see people learning about the actual quality that's in China, because not everything is made cheaply, and learning about websites like Taobao, y'all better get to getting while the getting is good.